So we've been featuring a lot of small cases lately on Linus Tech Tips, and we've gotten a lot of frustration from the community for not showing off larger designs more often. And you know what? We heard you. So we got in touch with Maingear, who partnered with HP to bring us this. The Omen X, the rotated cuboid whose HP rendition we first checked out back at CES in January. At $599 for the case alone, that version may have tilted some of you, but if price is a non-concern for you, well, you'd be looking at the Mad Baller Maingear version that sports a Mad Baller price tag to match anyway. I mean, go big or go home, am I right? Cooler Master's 25th Anniversary Edition Cosmos 2 features a unique dual curved tempered glass side panel. Check it out now at the link below. So let's take it from the top. The Omen X has a gigantic package. I mean, when it first arrives, that is the first thing that you will notice. But that's a good thing when you consider the Omen X's weight. At over 50 pounds, it is certainly something that you will think twice before moving, especially if you've got to go up and down the stairs like we had to. But who says big can't be beautiful? The HP version is nice, but what a job Maingear did on this one, done up with a gorgeous coat of blue automotive paint and some other tweaks. So we've got the Maingear logo in place of the Omen logo on the front panel that sports individually addressable quadrants of RGB lighting. On the right, we've got our front I/O, including 2 USB Type-C ports, and down below we've got, a DVD burner? Okay, well, in fairness, it can be equipped with a Blu-ray drive if you want, but Maingear wisely assumed that we wouldn't care if they put a piece of new car-scented blue cardboard in there anyway. Around the back, we've got our rear I/O, which thankfully reveals an off-the-shelf motherboard from ASUS and not a proprietary HP Omen board, as well as our power supply and... Huh? What's this screw here? Well, let's just remove it and... Now press this button and whoa! That side panel just opened like a car door. Very cool. And looking even deeper inside, oh yeah! We RGB now, boys! Sorry, I got carried away there. Anyway, in here, we find one of our 3 cooling zones. And here, the motherboard and GPUs live alongside a 120mm radiator up front with our reservoir and a 240mm radiator up top pulling exhaust duty. We can't help, at this point, but to tear up a little bit, gazing upon the gorgeous hardline tubing job Maingear has painstakingly done for this unit. It includes a whopping 75 chrome fittings and no bends. Apparently this helps prevent damage in shipping. Our blocks are running in parallel in our loop, and all of them contain a delightful pastel blue coolant reminiscent of delicious liquefied Smurfs. But if you look closelier, you'll see that our loop actually extends into the bottom chamber too, where the Corsair AX1200i is housed. It's a little tough to access, but down there, you'll actually find a 3rd radiator to complete the cooling system. I mean, this thing packs some serious cooling capacity. All right then, Linus, what's in the 3rd chamber? Drive bays for days. Well, 4 drive bays anyway, for 4 days, but they're cool ones. All 4 are hot swappable with locking mechanisms and cloth pull tabs that let you slide out trays big enough to accommodate up to 3.5-inch hard drives. While we did report though at CES that the Omen X would support U.2 drives, ours doesn't. This isn't the end of the world for now. There isn't a ton of selection in U.2 drives, but we are looking forward to seeing future configurations with that option. Nudge, nudge. So with all of that together, we've got a BAAF machine that should be more than capable of handling high-end work like 3D rendering and video editing, all the way down to more pedestrian tasks like 4K gaming, which I can't believe I just said. Starting off then with our gaming tests, we can see that right off the bat, Maingear's factory overclock has given them quite a bit of headroom over the stock configuration. So it's not all for show then. And I imagine if you wanted to really sit down and grind out the voltage tweaks for an unreasonably long period of trial and error, you could probably push both the 6950X CPU and the 1080 Ti GPUs even further. But that's a little outside the scope of a normal system review. Though with that said, maybe we'll get a chance to take a closer look at an Omen X in the future, maybe after Threadripper? Anyway, this is an expensive system, but this is Maingear. So you have to expect it. These guys hand build every unit they send out the door and hand overclock them too. I mean, during the course of this video, our motherboard actually developed a fault and they flew the guy who built the system to make the repair for us. And while they won't necessarily do that for every end user, it does show a level of commitment that we've never seen before, even towards us, from a system builder. And it also highlights something very important that we brought up in our recent review of the Digital Storm Bolt X. And that is that hardline tubing is a pain and a half to maintain, even if it looks stunning. And this one is one stunning series of tubes. That artistry and support though, like I said, doesn't come cheap. And as configured, we are sitting at $10,500 US. Even our balls to the wall test bench parts cost less than half of that. So then, just like the Bolt X, the Omen X isn't for an enthusiast who likes to get their hands dirty, but rather it's for someone who wants a unique looking rig with an utterly one-of-a-kind water cooling setup that compromises on nothing, without the hassle and with full support if something goes wrong. Is it for you? Well, that depends just how much of a baller you are, and also how cube-shaped you like your balls. Want to learn something? Check out Skillshare. It's an online learning community for creators with more than 15,000 classes in design, business, technology, and more. Anyone can take a class, try a project, or even teach a class themselves. Premium membership begins at around $10 a month and gives you unlimited access to learning from anywhere. You can download the mobile app on Android or iPhone and tap into classes even when you're offline. And they've got all kinds of stuff that would even be applicable to our business, like video editing classes with Adobe Premiere. The first 200 viewers, that's you, click the link in the video description, you'll get a 2-month free trial. Woo! So thanks for watching, guys. If this video sucked, you know what to do. But if it was awesome, hit that like button, get subscribed, maybe consider checking out where to buy the system we featured in the video description. Also down there, we have our merch store, woo, which has cool t-shirts like this one, as well as our community forum, which you should totally join to go talk tech.